2 years ago my husband told me she needed to become my wife. 2 years ago, after being married for 3 years, and together 4 years before that, my partner told me that she was transgender and needed to transition to a woman. Shortly after we got married she had entered a long period of extreme depression with suicidal ideation. Her need to transition came as a surprise to me, and was followed by a challenging time for me during which I had a lot to figure out, particularly since we were still very much in the trenches in terms of the strain that her depression had put on our relationship. Fast forward to today and now her depression has improved immeasurably and our partnership is stronger than ever. Ask me anything. Do you ever miss the male version of your partner physically? I am a gay man, and if my partner ever needed to transition I think I could support it. I just would think watching them change slowly from one gender expression to another would be painful for me. I love his body, and I would miss the way he was before as he changed. Is what I'm trying to say making sense? You are totally making sense. There was one night, almost a year ago now, when it was cold and she didn't have any new warm women's clothes yet, so she wore some of her old clothes. She also wore a hat, so her new long hair was covered. And it was before she had had her facial feminization surgery, which she has had now. Because of those things and because we were outside and it was dark, when I looked at her it was almost like having the old her back. It was really amazing, and really confusing. I didn't tell her at the time that it was happening, but the next day I told her, and then I told her that we had to throw away all of her old clothes because I had to say goodbye to that person now and I couldn't have them coming in and out of my life unexpectedly. I love the woman I have now even more than I loved that man. I didn't think that would be possible, but we've been through even more together now and we are so close because of it, but gosh, imagine if I could have them both. So I totally understand your question, thank you for asking it. Poignant and graceful response to what is undoubtedly a complex situation. But the next day I told her, and then I told her that we had to throw away all of her old clothes because I had to say goodbye to that person now and I couldn't have them coming in and out of my life unexpectedly. That was an incredibly healthy and selfless thing to do. What changed in bed between the two of you? Do you still have hetero sex? Has this transition brought on pegging or some type of femdom? Very curious how you would adapt to sex life. Thanks for asking. We are much happier in the bedroom. We had always struggled with our sex life, but never understood why. After she told me about her need to transition we got a whole load of professionals involved, including a sex therapist. The therapist really dug into what happened in our bedroom, but also into the past experiences that had formed our hang-ups so that we could find ways to let go of them. She also sent us to a sex shop to buy some things which were game changers. We no longer have heteropenetrative sex, but we are much freer and much more satisfied with our sex life. There is way more dirty talk, more dressing up, more toys, and we are much more intimately connected. I am impressed at your willing to answer such questions. I feel like sex is challenging and confounding for everyone sometimes, so the more we talk about our own challenges hopefully the less alone each of us will feel. And hopefully we can give each other some ideas. Honestly, even without the transition I think the sex therapist would have been a great idea. I encourage couples to consider it. She really helped us in ways that were much further reaching than I expected, like addressing the fact that my partner never felt like she had privacy as a teen by having her check that all of our apartment doors were locked and the apartment was empty so that she would be able to relax better when we felt like getting romantic. We would never in a million years have gotten to that on our own. That's a wonderful attitude, and I'm glad to hear the therapy helped. How have your family coped with the transition? I am very lucky to have parents who would walk through fire for me, and who love and support me unconditionally. They have completely taken my lead on the transition, even though it's way out of their comfort zones, especially my dad's. With my extended family I have found it more difficult. They have all been supportive, but it's hard not to think about the bigoted things that some of them have said about the LGBTQ+ community in the past and wonder if those are the things that they think about us now. I am trying to figure out how to address that at the moment. awkward. Wow, what a lovely family you have. I'm sure you will figure it out for the other side of the family. Can I ask how her family is doing with supporting you and her through this? I'd hate to hear if her family did anything hurtful when she started the transition. Her family have very different views to us, which has made things a bit tricky. Everyone is doing their best though, and they love their child/sibling in their own way, so hopefully things will improve with a bit of time and work. We have a lifetime, I guess. Damn, I came out as bisexual in high school to my parents and I almost got kicked out of my house. I didn't really come here to ask a question. Just to tell you how much I admire you for your strength and love. She is lucky to have had you to stick by her. I am not sure how many relationships survive such drastic changes, but I deeply admire you. You have given us all a lesson in the strength of love and you have led by example. Thank you. And my very best wishes to you both. Thank you. Something interesting is that one of the hardest parts of all of this was her depression, which lasted for a number of years and was mostly an issue before the transition came up. It's incredible to me that there are so many people out in the world fighting that fight, which was the most difficult fight of our lives. There are a lot of invisible heroes out there. Oh my goodness. I don't really have anything to ask, but I'm so impressed by your open-mindedness towards this issue. Your wife needed you and you were there for her. Isn't that what marriage is all about? Supporting each other through thick and thin? I'm so impressed. Stay strong. Thank you. She said that one of the things that helped her to finally accept that she was transgender and stop pushing it away was being in a relationship with me and seeing my attitude towards people and social justice, so that made me really happy that she felt like she could finally be her because she felt safe. Smile. I'm glad that there are people like you out there, Son, who see us and support us. Smile. Clearly you're a very supportive partner. I'm so happy to hear about her feeling safe to share this with you. That's truly so special. As a gay man myself, I love seeing a post like this. You two are so special. Sending a lot of love to the both of you. Stay safe during quarantine. Thank you for watching the video. If you're new, please be sure to subscribe, like and turn on post notifications so you never miss an upload. Post your own stories in the comments down below.